What is going on, Aces? Wagwan. It's like I wish I was going to Jamaica. But I'm getting caught up with all of the videos, and so I realized that this past week has been so busy that I completely forgot to make the recap video for episode 5. So I'm going to do 5, and then I'm going to do 6, and then we're going to do Married to Medicine later on this evening. But let's get into the Pie in the Austin Sky recap. So Austin, Texas, it's a beautiful city. I've been there a few times. They definitely live up to their name, Keep Austin Weird. But if you have the chance to go, I would suggest you go there. I have some really good friends that live there. It's a great city to go to. So Ashley ends up inviting, the ladies to go to Austin. But before that, Mia, Ashley, and Gizelle, they all meet, okay? And they are discussing pretty much where we left off last week with the rumors surrounding Wendy's mom and her praying to a shrine and things like that. So Wendy says that, they are Catholics, and in Catholicism, similarly to, Mary and all of the different saints, I guess, that they pray to, like, St. Michael, St. Joseph. They have a lot of saints within the Catholic faith. I'm not a Catholic. So if you guys are Catholic, you can, of course, make sure you provide any kind of clarification in the comments section. But I'm a Christian. I was raised, non-denominational. So that's my religion. But yeah, so she was basically saying, that it was cap, right? Like her mom was not praying to a shrine, and there was no voodoo, there was no hex, there was no anything like that. And so that's what the ladies were talking about when they all meet in the shop. Mia, Ashley, and Gizelle, when she tells them about the Austin trip. So then we have Wendy and her husband, Eddie. They go out to eat. Again, them recapping and rehashing what went on at pickleball with her getting into it with NECA. So, Eddie is like, you just need to calm down, get some food, chill out, relax. And the ladies are just, pretty much on 10 this season. Like, they're just like, it just seems like no one is really happy. Everyone is pretty much in conflict with everyone else. And, Wendy is really upset about NECA. A lot of people are saying that, Wendy, I guess she wanted to be the only Nigerian on the show. I don't know if NECA is a threat to her in regards to Nigerian culture, but they are definitely, they came out the gate just beefing back and forth. And her husband, he's like, listen, I'm happy Eddie. Then, he's taking the Mariah Carey route, right? He's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know him. So the producer asked Wendy in the confessional, were they Facebook friends? And she's like, like she doesn't know. It's Facebook, y'all. Like, I would just suggest everybody put it to bed. Wendy's like, I don't know everybody that I went to college with. And that's true, right? Especially over, the period of time where, if y'all remember, I'm out in my age right now, but old school Facebook, when it first came out, okay, you could only get on Facebook if you had a college email address. Like, it had to be .edu. That was when, like, Mark first, created it from when he was at Harvard, and, he made it specifically for college students. Now, of course, it went worldwide. Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg, and, of course, get your bag. But it's become the place where it's completely taken over by boomers, right? And everybody else that's younger has pretty much moved on. So, but yeah, if they, friended themselves or friended each other in Facebook, back when they were in college, and they unfriend each other, again, y'all, it's Facebook. It's not that big of a deal. But let's move on to NECA and her husband. They go to see the OBGYN. And to be honest, like, I feel like her mother and her sister were kind of coming down on NECA pretty hard, because they're like, your husband's going to leave you if, you don't give him a baby soon. And her face was just like, like she was like taken aback, which I can understand that, because that's a lot, right? Like, okay, well, calm down, chill out. She's 35? So she has time. They go see the doctor, and he's Nigerian as well. And so, he's trying to connect with them. A lot of people felt like, the things that he was saying was kind of dismissive, because she's serious. She wants to find out what's going on. Now, he mentioned that her husband has a low, volume, okay, of his little soldiers. But he again said, it should be fine. They should conceive within 6 months. So he told them pretty much not to worry. And I felt like, he was trying to put them at ease, put their minds at ease. But I also feel like maybe he could have taken the husband to the side or, gave him some kind of advice on how to get that count up. You know what I mean? So it would have been a little bit. I'm not a urologist, but I don't know, maybe he could do something like herbal or natural or whatever the case may be. Because if it's his count, then that's, going to make it more difficult. But he said that it's not a problem. And so we're going to trust the doctor. So, but her husband's a doctor. He should know these things. Anyway, let's move on. So the next scene goes into Mia and Gordon, right? And they go to see the therapist. And they're telling the story about him getting voted out of their chiropractic, their firm, right? And the lawyer that they hired essentially stole their money, and he was disbarred, and then he ended up unaliving himself, unfortunately. And the crazy thing about this is exactly what Robin's storyline was when she first came on the show. And I believe her. Don't get me wrong. Like, I believe Robin. But with Mia, I mean, this isn't the first time that she has not been 100% truthful. But it just seemed like really eerie, the similarities. So it is unfortunate, though, that he was voted out of his own, law firm, his own law practice. But yeah, that's really eerie. Okay, so then the ladies get together for, they go to Austin and they're checking out their hotel rooms and they're very nice. And, but then they look out the window and there's all this construction. And they sit outside again and, they're just discussing, going back and forth about who her sister, right? Whether or not Wendy knew her sister. And Wendy's like, are you slow? Are you dumb? Are you this? Are you that? And she's, just like in NECA's face, basically calling her a liar. And so NECA's like, what are you talking about? She was at your sip and see at, your daughter's dedication. And you basically said in the mic in front of everybody that you wanted your daughter to be just like her. So who's the liar? You know what I mean? And so Wendy's caught. She has like egg on her face. Again, Wendy, to be honest, now that people have brought it up, the similarities between Wendy and her mother, the way that they act, the more the seasons progress. Because if you guys remember when Wendy first came on the show, she was, like 4 degrees Wendy, right? Like that was out of her mouth all the time. My degrees, my degrees, my degrees. My degrees. And to the point where people, online said that they were so sick of hearing about, okay, Dr. Wendy, like, we get it. You know what I mean? But it comes across as someone who is extremely insecure. And the reason why I say that is because they're always seeking some external validation. And unfortunately, you can see that even with like her mom, with the lightening of her skin, the skin bleaching. And I hope Wendy doesn't go down that route. Oh my goodness, because it's so dangerous, by the way. I hope that, none of my listeners, I mean, if everyone has their own, personal choices on what they do with their body. And I'm definitely not body shaming anyone. But what I am saying is the chemicals that are put in your skin, similarly to, like hair relaxers, they can be cancerous. So please do your research before you do any of those things. But it just seems like, like her mom had that takeover spirit with the prayer, making everything about her, centering her. And Wendy does that a lot. So then when she was saying that she didn't know her sister, NECA's sister, and, NECA was like, what are you talking about? You basically dedicated, saying that you wanted your daughter to emulate my sister. So what do you mean you don't even know her? Everyone's kind of looking like, okay, Wendy, that's very interesting. So, yeah, I think that Wendy is threatened by NECA, And I really hope that they have a chance to work those things out, because I like Nneka. She comes across as very much, um, just, leading with her money, right? Like, my dad bought me this and that and this, that. And it's like, her wearing fur, like a fur coat to pick up her husband at the airport while he just has on scrubs. It's very, maybe it's a Nigerian culture thing. You know what I mean? It's just very, it is very interesting to learn about these different cultures. But yeah, this season is interesting. Nneka brings a different dynamic to the show. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm going to get some water real quick, and then I will bring you the rest of the recaps from this week's Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine in a few minutes. I'll talk to you later. Aces, please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you have not done so already. I will talk with you in the next video. Bye.